You know what I mean? Off the streets, you know what I mean? I'm sparring. Yeah. And I'm piecing them. Pop, 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 pop. First 2 rounds, I get tired. He hit me with a body shot. Boom. Felt it. I knocked the wind out of me. And I looked at him, you know what I mean? But I'm moving. I'm like, I'm moving. I just ran at him, like, just started swinging. And he's like, hey, stop, hey, I ain't no boxing. Get that shit out of here. Like, I'm mad and shit. And then so I get out the ring, you know what I mean? I just looked at him and I just started doing all kinds. I think I did like 500 sit-ups. And I was just like, I'm coming back tomorrow. I was like, he couldn't whip me. I was like, man.
And that what motivated.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So the voice you hear is the voice of undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning WBO, World Boxing Organization welterweight world champion, who is widely considered by many to be the #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, in Terence Crawford. He's 38 wins, no loss and no draw, 29 big wins by way of knockout. He is 34 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. Terence Crawford is going to be headed into the biggest fight of his career, the biggest fight in the sport of boxing, against undefeated unified 3-belt WBC, WBA, IBF, welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many to be top 2, if not the #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, in ERROL the True Spence Jr. ERROL Spence Jr. is 28 wins, no loss and no draw, 22 big wins by way of knockout. He's 32 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. They make for the biggest fight in the sport of boxing. It will be for undisputed. Though obviously, right now, Terence Crawford is a hot commodity. Not that he hasn't always been, but he's definitely a hot commodity right now. Okay, and so with that said, Terence Crawford, he was talking about what makes him a dog in the ring, in the sport of boxing, right? What ticks, what gets him to tick, what motivates him, right? And he said that it was a sparring session that he lost, and this is what got him motivated.
Did you to get back in now?
Yeah, definitely. That's the only reason why I came back to boxing.
Damn, bro.
So he said that's the only reason he came back to boxing, because he lost his sparring session. He stated that he was the man at one point in time in the sport of boxing, in his hometown, right? And he quit boxing. He walked away from boxing. He was suspended from the gym. So he was done with boxing, right? And he stated that, you know, people started telling him there's a newbie in the gym, and this dude is dominating in the gym, and they call him a body snatcher, right? Oddly enough, right? That's what Errol Spence is known for, to be the body snatcher. So they calling this dude the body snatcher, and they feel like he could beat Terence Crawford. So Terence Crawford, he said he first brushed it off, and then after a while, people kept saying it, and he got to a point where he was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym and spar this dude and see what we talking about here. And so he got to the gym, he sparred Buddy, and he said for the first 2 rounds, he was putting the work on him. He said then he got tired. He said, and old Buddy started putting the work on him, hit him with a body shot, and folded him up. And he said he couldn't breathe. He had to start utilizing the ring, moving around the ring. And he stated that he turned the switch in his brain, and he said, never mind, I'm just gonna go fight the dude. And he said he rushed him and just started throwing punches. And he stated that, you know, the trainers and everybody started to say, oh, that ain't boxing. Get up out the ring. That ain't boxing. This ain't, you know, this is boxing. This ain't fighting. And he said he got mad. He got outside the ring. He did 500 sit-ups and said, I'll come back every day because I know you can't whip me. Why is this relevant to what we're talking about with him and Errol Spence? Because that's what Terence Crawford is known for, being a dog. When Terence Crawford gets hit, Terence Crawford, he lets you know it's his pride, okay? It's his motivation, it's his competitive nature. Not his love for the sport of boxing. It's his competitive nature that makes him tick. And because of that competitive nature, it caused him to be a dog in the ring. A la his fight with Igor Kavalauskas. There's a lot of fights Terence Crawford can make easy, right? He chooses not to make them easy. This is a testament to what I've been telling everybody as to why I personally favor Errol Spence to win the fight. Because Terence Crawford is a dog, But that chip on his shoulder is the size of the Grand Canyon. His pride, his competitive nature. And if, as a youngster, somebody told him that a guy in the gym could beat him and he was done with the sport, and that got him to come back to the sport and compete just because they said somebody could beat him, on that level, imagine what his mindset is on this level when people are telling him that Errol Spence could beat him when he's already accomplished what he's accomplished. He's already a Hall of Famer. And not only do we know he's a Hall of Famer, but he knows he's a Hall of Famer ultimately. And Terence Crawford, he knows and understands his own accomplishments. So with that said, Terence Crawford, he looks at the landscape and he says, hold on, I'm already a Hall of Famer. I've already accomplished becoming undisputed. I'm a 3-division champion. I'm undefeated. I knocked out 10 of my last 11 opponents. And y'all talking about this dude who's unified in one division is better than me and could beat me and is going to knock me out and is a 50-50 fight. Best believe when Terence Crawford gets in the ring with Errol Spence, Terence Crawford is viewing Errol Spence as a huge obstacle, competitive-wise, right? And he's going to want to be a dog. He's going to want to stop Errol Spence. I told you guys before, him just beating Errol Spence is not enough. That's not enough for Terence Crawford. He wants to stop or knock out Errol Spence. He wants to embarrass Errol Spence. And I ultimately think that that's going to be the issue with him. That's going to be why it works against him being victorious, because of what Errol Spence brings to the ring. Just like in this sparring session that he's talking about, he thought that I could just go in there because I'm already better than him. I could come off the streets, like he said, go in there and dominate because his competitive nature. That's his ego and his competitive nature. Now, at this level, obviously, he's going to train to the highest level. But what I'm saying is, in this fight with Errol Spence, he's going to think that I could outdog Errol Spence and prove a point and stop Errol Spence, and don't understand the physical nature of what Errol Spence brings to the table. Errol Spence is like a machine. This is his wheelhouse. This is what he does. Terence Crawford is not, his physical frame is not wired like that. Yes, he has power in both hands. Yes, he's versatile. He's very long. He has a wiry frame. He has a frame of a boxer. He's a boxer. The guys that he did stop, like Igis Kavalasis, Jose Benavidez Jr., Amir Khan, and even Sean Porter, they're not as big and talented as Errol Spence. And Errol Spence is a southpaw who's fundamentally sound, who's a pressure fighter, right? When you fighting a guy like Errol Spence, you have to box Errol Spence. You have to outbox Errol Spence. You have to utilize all your tools in the toolbox. You have to offset Errol Spence. You cannot stand in front of Errol Spence and trade because your ego. You can't do it. Errol Spence, he broke down Kell Brook, broke his orbital bone. Errol Spence, he broke down your Dana Sugas, broke his orbital bone. These guys are bigger than Errol Spence. He beat Sean Porter at his game on the inside. These guys, Sean Porter's a physical fighter. Everybody said Errol Spence never seen a fighter like Sean Porter. He's a physical fighter. Well, guess what he did? He out-physical Sean Porter at his own game. He dropped Sean Porter as well. Didn't knock him out. I thought if he followed up with the hook, if he would have came with the right hand, he would have knocked out Sean Porter. But you cannot fight his fight. And I think that Errol Spence is going to lure Terence Crawford into fighting his fight. That's what I think is going to happen. He's going to lure Terence Crawford into a dogfight, into his fight. And before you know it, in those later rounds, in the second half of the fight, when Terence Crawford is going to try to tie up, because you even look at the Igis Kavalaskis fight, Igis was getting the best of him. Sean Porter in the inside was getting the best of him. Right? Can he fight in the inside? Absolutely. But is that his specialty? No, it's not. You look at the fight with Hank Lundy, when Hank Lundy was getting on the inside, he was getting the best of him. And there was a clear size difference. Because Terence Crawford, I believe, is because he has extremely long arms. And because he has extremely long arms, it's hard for him to shorten up his punches when guys are on the inside and get the torque that he needs. He needs to fight in that mid to outside range, like Hank Lundy said. He needs to control the distance and the pace of the fight. You cannot fight Errol Spence on the inside. And I think that the dog in him that he attests to, like he said, he's always angry on the inside, like the Hulk. He always wants to prove everybody wrong. And I think that that's what he's going to look to do against Errol Spence. And that's going to be a problem. And I think that he's going to quickly realize that Errol Spence is better than what people say. And he's going to have to make the adjustments and be a boxer. But it's his ego and his competitive nature going to allow him to fight the fight that he fought against Victor Postol and Jose Benavidez Jr. That's the fight he's going to have to fight to beat Errol Spence. So I can't wait. It looks like it's going to happen in November. It's the biggest fight in the sport of boxing. And I absolutely cannot wait. It's truly a 50-50 fight. And I can't wait to see the outcome. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.